Welcome back to Top 10 Awakened Insights. Today we will show you our top 10 videos on the power of presence and living in the now, starting with number 10.
If you want to live an amazing life, a truly abundant, happy life, make it a priority to live more in the present moment. You don't need fancy cars. You don't need millions of dollars. You don't need things. All you need is within you now. All you need is this very moment, right now. This precious present moment. To be part of all the miracles that are around you, and indeed a part of you right now. All unhappiness is formed when we take our being away from the present moment. Stress, disappointment, and anger when we think about events of our past that we have no control over right now. Anxiety or worry when we think about the future, also of which we have no control over right now. Most of us seem to be always searching for someplace else, some better moment in the future. But that moment never comes. Because when that moment comes, we want more. When we just stop and appreciate everything in this moment, everything most take for granted, like the life in our bodies, like the energy inside us, like the miracle of human life, like the miracle of creation, the wonder of this universe, the wonder of you being able to communicate to all parts of your body without speaking a word, the wonder of our senses.
Number 9 by Eckhart Tolle.
Fact, letting go of the clutter is a practice, awareness of the simplicity of the present moment, the sense perceptions of the present moment, acknowledge the isness of all things, give it attention, and refrain as much as possible from labeling your sense perceptions. That is not impossible. It is of course a deep-seated habit to continuously have to label your sense perception, what you're seeing. Oh, look at that, isn't that nice? Oh, this was something I saw that last year my aunt had that. Oh, I wish I had that in my book. Where can you buy that? I wonder. Oh, isn't this interesting? I wonder what the tree is called. There's nothing wrong with finding the names of trees, but don't lose yourself in that. There is another way of being in the world that is non-conceptual, that awakens the non-conceptual dimension, the non-conceptual intelligence in you.
Number 8 by Chris Sidenog.
When most of us are training or practicing or performing a crucial skill in our life, something we want to be good at or we have to be good at, most of us are either living in the past and thinking about how we performed in the past, or we're looking into the future and wondering how are we going to do and what's going to happen in the future, rather than being in the present moment where we can actually affect some change on what we're doing. You're playing golf and you are not being present in the present moment of that swing, actually the exact instant that your club makes contact with that ball. You have no control over what's going to happen. If you're thinking about the last shot you made, if you're thinking about 2 holes down and what's going to happen, who's in the lead, who's going to win, if you're thinking about any of that, rather than being present the exact second, the instant that that club makes contact with the ball, you have no control, none, over what's going to happen.
Number 7.
The power of presence. Living fully in the now. Welcome to Gentle Reminders, your space for peace and wisdom. Have you ever noticed how often your mind isn't actually where your body is? We're often reliving past moments, replaying conversations or anxiously planning for a future that hasn't arrived. In this constant mental time travel, we miss the only moment we truly possess, the present. Today, we're going to explore the profound transformative power of presence, the art of living fully in the now. In our modern world, we're constantly bombarded with distractions. Smartphones, endless to-do lists, the pressure to multitask, they all pull our attention away from the current moment. This constant mental busyness creates a persistent hum of anxiety, stress, and a feeling that life is rushing by without us truly experiencing it. We might be physically present, but our minds are often elsewhere, planning the next step, regretting a past action, or worrying about what's to come. This disconnect is a common source of unease, robbing us of joy and genuine connection. We become observers of our own lives rather than active participants. But what if the greatest secret to happiness, peace, and even courage lies in simply being here now? Throughout history, countless wisdom traditions have pointed to the profound importance of presence. Buddhist teachings emphasize mindfulness, the practice of being aware of the present moment without judgment. Stoic philosophy teaches us to focus our energy only on what is within our control in this very instant. Even the Christian concept of this day encourages us to live each moment fully. This wisdom isn't just ancient philosophy, it's a practical guide for navigating life's challenges with clarity and calm.
Number 6 by Angela Lee Duckworth.
27 years old, I left a very demanding job in management consulting for a job that was even more demanding, teaching. I went to teach 7th graders math in the New York City public schools. And like any teacher, I made quizzes and tests, I gave out homework assignments. When the work came back, I calculated grades. What struck me was that IQ was not the only difference between my best and my worst students. Some of my strongest performers did not have stratospheric IQ scores. Some of my smartest kids weren't doing so well. And that got me thinking. The kinds of things you need to learn in 7th grade math, sure, they're hard. Ratios, decimals, the area of a parallelogram. But these concepts are not impossible. And I was firmly convinced that every one of my students could learn the material if they worked hard and long enough. After several more years of teaching, I came to the conclusion that what we need in education is a much better understanding of students and learning from a motivational perspective, from a psychological perspective. In education, the one thing we know how to measure best is IQ. But what if doing well in school and in life depends on much more than your ability to learn quickly and easily? So I left the classroom and I went to graduate school to become a psychologist. I started studying kids and adults in all kinds of super challenging settings. And in every study, my question was, who is successful here and why? My research team and I went to West Point Military Academy. We tried to predict which cadets would stay in military training and which would drop out. We went to the National Spelling Bee and tried to predict which children would advance farthest in competition. We studied rookie teachers working in really tough neighborhoods, asking which teachers are still going to be here in teaching by the end of the school year. And of those, who will be the most effective at improving learning outcomes for their students? We partnered with private companies, asking which of these salespeople is going to keep their jobs and who's going to earn the most money. In all those very different contexts, one characteristic emerged as a significant predictor of success. And it wasn't social intelligence, it wasn't good looks, physical health, and it wasn't IQ. It was grit. Grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals. Grit is having stamina. Grit is sticking with your future, day in, day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years, and working really hard to make that future a reality.
Number 5, Brendan Burchard.
The people around you, they don't want like presents, like things. We think they want things. What they want is presence. Your full dance of energy right now with them, right here. That's presence. being here now, but being here now in reverence and positivity. That's what I think we got to work on. Lots of people, yeah, they're good at being here now and they're being mindful, but they're still kind of in a crappy attitude. What people want from us is presence, that full engagement in the minute where we're having that dance of energy between us that is positive and reverential, meaning we have reverence for each other, we have reverence for our lives. And I'll tell you what, if all you got from this entire session today was like, you know what, I need to start showing up for my family, for my team, in the ways that I serve with more presence that is a dance with the energy of the moment and that is positive and that has real reverence, I'm telling you what, that's what life's about. That's probably the difference of the next decade for you.
Number 4 by Eckhart Tolle.
And so this is why we are here, and this is the meaning of retreat. It's a retreat from yourself in order to find what the Buddhists would call the no self, or what other teachings would call the deeper self, or the Atman, or your Buddha nature, or the Christ within, whatever term you want to use to point to it. And that's why we're here. So all the external things here are helpful. It's easier here to connect with the depths of who you are and realize the depths of who you are. Of course, when you leave here, then you get challenged again. It's not that you don't get challenged here too, and especially if you're still very much identified with the mind, you find many challenges wherever you go. This isn't right. Don't like that. He doesn't look very spiritual to me. Or the opposite, all these people are so much more spiritual than me. Do they know that I'm not spiritual? So the practice is to voluntarily, as much as possible, relinquish identification with the thinking mind and your usual self. And what very much helps with that is just as much as you can. Don't walk around as a heavy personality and person. No, walk around as a light, as a field of conscious perception, and like a little child that goes and look at everything. In other words, presence practice.
Number 3.
Have you ever gazed up at the star-studded expanse of the night sky and felt a profound sense of awe and wonder? Have you ever marveled at the intricate complexity of a snowflake or the breathtaking beauty of a sunset? If so, then you've likely experienced a moment of presence. Presence in these moments, time seems to stand still. Your thoughts quiet down and you feel a deep connection to the world around you. Now, what if I told you that these moments of presence are more than just fleeting experiences? What if they hold the key to a deeper understanding of reality itself? Today, we will explore the concept of presence, its role in shaping our perception of reality, and how it can lead us to a more profound understanding of the universe. So join me on this journey of discovery, and let us delve into the depths of presence together. In today's society, we often find ourselves bombarded with distractions. The constant ping of notifications, the pressure to be productive, and the endless scroll of social media can pull our attention away from the present moment. However, it is in these very moments of distraction that we lose touch with the true nature of reality. We become disconnected from the world around us and from ourselves. Imagine for a moment that you are sitting in a quiet room. Your eyes are closed and you are focusing on your breath. Suddenly, a notification pops up on your phone. You open your eyes, and for a moment you're transported to another world. You read the notification, reply to the message, and before you know it, several minutes have passed. You close your eyes again, but this time it's harder to focus. Your mind is still racing with thoughts about the message you just received. This scenario is a common occurrence in our daily lives. We live in a world where distractions are the norm, and it can be difficult to stay focused on the present moment. However, it is precisely in these moments of distraction that we lose touch with the true nature of reality. When we are constantly bombarded with external stimuli, we become less aware of the internal sensations in our own bodies. We stop listening to the soft rustle of leaves outside or the gentle hum of a nearby bee. We no longer feel the sun on our skin or the breeze on our face. As a result, we miss out on the beauty of the present moment and disconnect from the world around us.
Number 2.
Namo Buddhaya. One of our viewers have asked from us a question that how can we live in the present moment without worrying about the future? So this whole video is dedicated for him as well as for all of you who have the same question in your life. We have to realize that living in the present moment, focusing your mind to the present moment is not a simple thing. It is very hard, but also it is an achievable target. Our great teacher Supreme Buddha taught us, Atitang nanvagameya nappati kanke anagata. You should not chase after the past. And also, you should not make too much expectations about the future.
And finally, our number 1 video.
Chronao is one of the 6 pillars of Stoicism, where Stoic discipline meets Taoist presence, creating a path to enlightenment in the flow of existence. Stoicism teaches us to focus only on what is within our control, reminding us that our power exists in this instant, not in the past or the future. Taoism invites us to release unnecessary thought, allowing us to move through life with ease rather than resistance. Together they reveal a profound truth. We are only ever alive in the present moment. Picture a ripple expanding outward from the center of still waters. A single disturbance in the current state spreads through every aspect of life. But when the mind is still, clarity emerges. This is Chronao in action, a grounded perception where the spirit is anchored, committed, and fully engaged with what is.
Hope you enjoyed these videos we have collated for you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel to see more videos, and thank you for watching.